Playoffs, y'all. Jameson Williams, 60 yards, anytime TD. We about to get into that. What up, y'all? It's your boy, Peppy C, a.k.a. Moneyline P, a.k.a. Parlay Poppy, a.k.a. I told you that was going to happen. With another episode of A Dollar in a Dream here on Dope Sports TV. Shout out to all the subscribers, everybody that's tapped in, everybody that's new subscribing, anybody that's just new to the show. This show is here to help you with your parlays every weekend for the NFL. And then when we transition to basketball after the All-Star break, we want to tell you guys who you should put every Saturday night on them parlays for the NBA. But right now, it's the playoffs, y'all. It is the playoffs. Right now, every game been looking real. Everything been looking like that. It starts off, and then that's how the playoffs been so far. But that's just the wild card. The real games start right now, and we got to get to these parlays. All right? You know the motto here. If you ain't rolled them joints, get to roll them joints. And if you roll them joints, definitely get to light them joints. Because it's time to get them parlays right. I'm Dollar in the Dream here on Dope Sports TV. Now, all these games going in order, just like they are on TV. So the first game we're going to talk about is Texans and the world defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs. Now, CJ Stroud, he's been looking good. He's hasn't had an all right season. I mean, that's what's going to happen in the second year. Second year is definitely going to be but it's not a sophomore jinx season. All right? The kid got 3,700 yards, 20 TDs, and 12 interceptions. Again, a little bit turnovers this year, but that's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Second year, sophomore, he's just going to go crazy sometimes. And, you know what I mean? Defense is on him this time around. You know what I mean? He surprised everybody last year. Defense on you now. You know? Last week, though, he was pretty good. 22 for 33 out of 33 attempts, 282 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. But then again, that interception. You can't do that with Steve Spags in Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Pat Mahomes going for 3,900 yards. You know what I'm saying? 26 TDs. You know, he was on the 11 interceptions this year. He was more on the turnover side this year. But that's what's going to happen. Going through injuries, all this other stuff. They didn't have Pacheco. They went and got Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt balling. They got him. He had a crazy game. If you're going to put anybody on your parlay, let's start with him. Kareem Hunt, anytime TD. Definitely going to put him for about maybe 20, 40 yards. I think he's going to be more catching passes out of the backfield. They're going to be running Pacheco with the ground and pound. They're going to go with Pacheco. When we go back to CJ Stroud, I think CJ Stroud is going to have a tough time with Steve Spags. We got to understand, when we really get to this, we got to think. When you really put your money down these parlays, you really got to think, who they playing? Who's on the other side? They got probably the best coach in history with Andy Reid. Then you throw Steve Spags in there with that defense, the same defensive coordinator that ended Brady's undefeated season. You know what I mean? Come on, he's seen it all. He played against the best. You know, and they got the best now. Pat Mahomes, we're going to go Pat Mahomes, 200 yards, 250 max. That's what we're doing with Pat Mahomes on the parlay. 200, 250 max. On CJ Stroud, again, I'm going to go. Listen, he went for like 175 last week. No, 282. Pardon me. I apologize, CJ. 282. I apologize. He went for 282. I wanted to say he's going for like 175 this week. I'm gonna put him on my parlay for 175. That's what I wanted to say. Because again, this defense, they're gonna Steve Spags is gonna throw everything at you, even the kitchen sink, everything. And I don't think he's ready for that. I don't think he's ready for that. Not at that. Not saying he's still at rookie level, but not at that level. Steve Spags again. He's seen it all, man. They back to back. They're going on the three. They're going for the three-peat. And then again, I'm going to go with history. There's only two quarterbacks in playoff history to beat Pat Mahomes when the lights is bright. One is calling games. That's Tom Brady. And the other is sitting on his couch for another year, second year in a row, watching him ball out. And that's Dope Sports TV's favorite, Dollar and the Dream's favorite, Joey Burrow, a.k.a. Joe Billetes. Right? So those are the only two quarterbacks that beaten that kid. Everybody else, they done they shit the bed. They shit the bed. You know what I mean? That's what they do, man. This is what he does, man. He was born to do this. Doing the All-State commercials. He's born to do this, man. He was born to make this money. He was born to win these chips. He's that dude right now, man. He's going for 3 in a row. He do that. Is he the GOAT? No quarterback has done that. Is it just him and Brady? Who's 1A and who's 1B? Put that down in the comments. Let's figure out who's 1A and 1B if he gets this three-peat, which I'm not gonna go with my Super Bowl pick yet, but I think he has a big chance of getting this three-peat. I don't see nobody beating this kid, man. He beat them all. This is like his third time around with everybody again. Let's go. Come on, let's dance. Let's get it. Who won it? For the Texans, we can't leave out Nico Collins, 1,000-yard receiver, 7 TDs. Last week, had 7 receptions, 122 yards, 1 TD. I mean, if I'm going to do anything, I think they're going to have he's not going to go for 122 yards unless CJ Stroud, and he and CJ Stroud have a breakout game and they forcing them passes. And I don't see Kansas City secondary just giving up 100 yards. I think they're going to have a plan to stop Nico. He's going to have to go other places with like Schultz. You might want to put Schultz for 40 or 20 yards. 20 yards maybe for Schultz. Nico Collins, I am going to put him down for an anytime TD. He's definitely going to get in the end zone. But I don't think he's going to get 122 yards this time around. I'm sorry. It's not happening. 60, maybe half of that. They definitely going to try to shut him down. 60. Vegas got this game at 8.5. Obviously, Houston is the underdog. I see this game 10-point game, but I think it's going to carry. I don't see if Houston wins, it's going to be by field goal. I don't see Houston winning by 10 or 8.5. I don't. So I'm not going to go with Houston. If anything, I'm going to pick KC to cover that spread. Over under 41.5. I think it's going to be an under. It's going to be a defensive game. Don't sleep on the defenses. Houston has a great defense as well. So we're not going to sit here and disrespect Houston in any way. So we're going to take the under on that game. Moneyline wise, you know me, Moneyline Pete. I mean, this kid, the only 2 quarterbacks that ever beat him, they not playing, man. So if I'm going to go money line and put my money down on anything, I'm going with Kansas City. I mean, look at the wideouts. Look at the weapons. You got Kelsey. You got Worthy. You got Gray. You got Hopkins. Hopkins came half a year and already got as much as Worthy and Gray with 4 TDs. Got more than Kelsey. Kelsey's just chilling. I mean, the kid is for the not also good a good Kansas City dominant Kansas City year. He almost got 4,000 yards. He got 3,900 yards. Like, I'm going with Kansas City, bro. I'm gonna put my money down on anything. Second game of the marquee, we got Commanders and Lions. Jaden Daniels. Let's give a round of applause for Jaden Daniels. If you ever see this, shout out to you, bro. If one of your friends bump into this or something, somebody, shout out to Washington. Great year. I didn't expect them to do this. I thought they were going to be bottom of the division. I thought we were going to have a better year than them. But it didn't roll out like that. My Giants playing like straight. And this kid is, I mean, he's talk of the town, man. The kid is talk of the town. Bro. He's that guy. I give him the round of applause, man. Last week, 24 for 35 attempts, 268 yards, 2 TDs, no interceptions. I'm sorry, but this time around, he's not going for 268. If I'm putting him on the parlay, I'm putting him on the parlay for about max 200. Max 200. This is a different defense. This is a team that is hungry. This is a team that was on a mission since last year. They not with anybody going into Detroit and taking that Super Bowl away from them. Nobody. So I don't see him doing no 300-yard performance. I'm sorry. I don't. It's not. It's not happening at all. 200 max. If you're gonna put him on a parlay for any yards, you're gonna put him 200 max. Definitely starting him on the fantasy. Definitely starting him on the fantasy. Fantasy, he's been lighting it up on the fantasy. Definitely, if you play the fantasy game, definitely gonna start him. One person I'm not gonna start, Bijan Robinson. Stay away from him. I mean, maybe this week is going to be different, but last week, ladies and gentlemen, 10 carries, 16 yards. Again, 10 carries, 16 yards. Recipe for disaster. You can't do that against Detroit. You can't do that against Detroit. But I'm staying away from Bijan. I am not putting him on my parlay. Not starting him. On my fantasy, nothing. I'm staying away from him. I suggest you do too. I mean, Jaden Daniels had more rushing yards than him last week. Jaden Daniels had like 36 rushing yards. He was the leading rusher on the team, the quarterback. He probably running for his life those 36 yards. Majority of them, he was running for his life, 36 yards. Somebody I'm definitely putting on the parlays, Terry McLaurin, 1,000-yard receiver, 13 TDs. Last week, 7 receptions, 89 yards TD. I'm definitely putting him for anytime TD. That's his number one target. That's just like his blanket. That's what I call the blanket. The one wide receiver that the quarterback always go to because when they're in trouble, when they're open, when they're not open, they just know that receiver is going to catch the ball and make them look good. That's his blanket. That's his guy. That's his ace. Terry McLaurin. And you should. That's the star wide receiver. He should be that. He should be that. He should be that. Again, for the Lions, I already said it. Starting off the show, Jameson Williams. I don't think anybody. I don't think they don't got any. I don't see the Commanders with anybody to shut that kid down. That kid is electric. He's fast. The kid is electric. He's fast. On the 58 receptions on the year, 7 TDs. I'm putting him for anytime TD. Definitely getting about 60 yards. I see them at least throwing a bomb to that kid at least twice, 3 times this game. They're gonna test him. because they're gonna run that ball. Jahmyr Gibbs, 1,400 yards on the year, 16 TDs. I'm definitely putting him for anytime TD. Definitely put him for 60. He's definitely getting 60 yards, not Bijan. But he's definitely gonna get you your 60 yards. So you better put him on your parlay for them 60 yards for that money. For that money, you better put that boy 60 yards anytime TD rushing. That's that kid right there. He's something else, man. He might get 100. He might get 100. Jared Goff, tremendous year, 4,600 yards. 4,600 yards. That's that's almost 5,000. That's like Madden. That's like Madden numbers, bro. The coordinator is definitely not going to be there next year. Both of them, defensive, offensively, they just hungry. Is if anybody has a chance to steal the game from them, it could be the Commanders. Jaden Daniels been playing crazy this year. But I just don't see that. Not this week. Not the Lions. I mean, go to the money line. Vegas. Vegas got this thing 9.5. Yeah, I'm not taking the 9.5 from the Commanders. I'm taking the 9.5 from the Lions. I see the Lions beating them by 10. I see the Lions jumping out to a big lead. Jaden Daniels trying to do a comeback, and the Lions hold them off with a 10-point lead, fourth quarter. That's how I see this game going. So if anything, I'll take the Lions to cover the spread. The over-under. The over-under is 55.5. I'm going to stay under. I'm not going to go with the over unless the Lions just go crazy and put up like 40 points. That offense is known for that. They remind me of the Rams. The one year the Rams, when they had the greatest show on turf, oh my goodness. They remind me of that same type of offense. Money line wise, I mean, it's not a surprise. But I'm running with the Lions. I'll be shocked if the Commanders could steal it again. If they do, they're gonna probably win like by a field goal again. A field goal, or maybe like they're up by 4 or 6 or something, and it's like a last minute drive, and Jared Goff just throws the game away and do something dumb and just gets scared and throws the game away with all that pressure on him. That's a tough place to play. Even though it's home field advantage, that's a tough place to play. Because if you don't win, if you don't take the Lions to the Super Bowl after the season y'all have, I mean that's gonna be a tough place. That's gonna be a tough place to stay to play with all that type of pressure, man. He gotta win. So I'm riding with the Lions. For the Sunday games, we have the LA Rams. Shout out to everybody in LA. All the firefighters putting their life on the line. Trying to stop them trees from blazing. No pun intended. But shout out to the firefighters. The Rams, they doing it for the firefighters. They doing it for the city of LA. I'm not gonna lie, these are the type of Super Bowls that go. These are the type of stories that go all the way to the Super Bowl. Excuse me. These are the type of stories that go all the way to the Super Bowl. These type of stories, they get there and they might not win, but they get there just for the city of LA and the firefighters. They're going to go up against Philly. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had 2 TDs, and if I'm not mistaken, had 131 yards last week. He's going to have to step it up but he didn't have any interceptions. I give him that. He's not turning the ball over. So I'll take that. That's a good game managing game. And plus they're playing Green Bay. Green Bay could not get that offense going against that defense. stellar defense there in Philly. But he's got to step his game up if they're going to play LA. If they're going to beat LA, especially at home. He needs to step his game up. Anybody I'm going to put on my parlay, I'm going to stay away from Jalen Hurts. I'm not too confident in him. If anything, we're going to put him for passing, put him for about 150 yards. He's definitely going to get you a TD or two. He showed that last week. But I think he's got to get 200 or better if they want to win this game. For LA, Matthew Stafford, veteran. I know Philly has a great defense, but Matthew Stafford could definitely pull off a W. He definitely could get that dub against that defense. I'm definitely going to put him for 200 yards. I know he can get that. I believe in him. He's a veteran. He definitely could get us that 200 yards. So I'm definitely putting him for 200 yards on the parlay. Definitely putting him for about a touchdown or two. If Tyler Higbee's playing, I'm pretty sure he's going to play. It's the playoffs. But if he is playing, if he's not playing, don't put him on. He's going to be voided. Don't put him. But if you do put him on, definitely put him for an anytime touchdown. He was on his way to having a big game to the injury. Puka Nakua, kind of iffy on him. I'm definitely gonna put him for yards. Put him for about 60 yards. Anytime TD. That's like iffy. That's on you if you want to do that in your parlay. But it's iffy still on mine. But they definitely gonna be looking for him because him and Higbee were the two targets they were looking for against the Vikings. Cooper Kupp. Hopefully Cooper Kupp get it going. I'm definitely gonna put him for about like at least 20 yards. Probably can get you that. Maybe 14, 15 yards. I don't know about the anytime touchdown. Stay away from that too with him. Anybody gonna get an anytime touchdown? Definitely Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith is definitely gonna get you an anytime TD. Jalen Hurts, that's Jalen Hurts' guy. He feels confident going there. AJ Brown, don't know about AJ Brown, man. I want to see if he's gonna stay in Philly. That's gonna be nice to see if he's gonna end up staying in Philly next season. I'm keeping him off my parlays. He's on the sideline reading books, looking uninterested into the game. So I'm keeping him off the parlay. Fuck that. I'm keeping his off the parlay. You know what I mean, we need this money this week, bro. Anybody I'm gonna put on this parlay, definitely Saquon Barkley. He didn't get a touchdown last week, but he's definitely gonna get you a touchdown this week. So I'm putting him for anytime TD. Definitely he got 119 yards last week. He's gonna get a good. I'm gonna go for a good 60, max 80. The Rams are not. I feel like the Rams got a little bit better front seven than the Green Bay Packers do. So I don't see him doing like 100, maybe 80. If you do get 100, it's because they fed him like 25 times like they did last week. But I'm definitely putting him for about like 60, 80 yards and anytime touchdown. Vegas got this thing 6.5. I'm staying away from the 6.5. If I'm gonna put anybody for a spread, it's not gonna be 6.5. I'm gonna put it like 3.5. This is gonna be a field goal game. Remember, I said it. It's gonna come down to a field goal. Whoever got the ball in the last minute. Field goal game right here. Over unders 51. I'm rolling with the under. I don't see both offenses exploding like that. It's gonna be a close game. Money line wise, I think the Rams steal this one. I'm running with the Rams. I think the Rams steal this one. They're gonna have that extra energy. They're gonna try to do it for LA and the firefighters and everybody else out there that lost their homes. God bless you guys. Hope you guys get back on your feet. I think they're gonna pull it off. Then they're gonna go into Philly, pull up an upset. I think they're more united. I don't think that Philly locker room is united, and it's gonna show in the round after round in the playoffs. It shows who's together, who's really in this thing, who's invested in this thing, and who's not. So I'm rolling with the Rams. I think they're more invested in this thing than the Eagles are, and plus they got better quarterback play to me than the Eagles do. So I'm putting my money on the Rams. Last game, Ravens and Bills, Western New York. Shout out to Western. Shout out to Josh Allen. Why I say that? 6 interceptions this year, guys. He's not trying to force feed the ball to Stephon Diggs. He's not trying to force feed the ball to anybody else. He's going through his progressions. He's not turning the ball over. That is great quarterback play. That is great. Going from like 16, 18, 15, 13 interceptions to that. Should win MVP, right? With 28 TDs, 3,700 yards. That's any other year that should like an MVP year for him. Right? But then you got Lamar Jackson. 4,100 yards, 41 TDs, and only 4 interceptions. That's amazing. Lamar Jackson's your MVP, ladies and gentlemen. If they don't give it to him, it's a robbery. Last week, 175 yards, 2 TDs, 16 for 21. I seen him about doing the same. If he's gonna give anybody those 2 TDs, one of them definitely gonna be for Likely or Andrews. Any one of those two, I'm putting down for anytime TD. One of them were the Bateman last week. You can put Bateman down as well. Yard wise, I'm definitely gonna put Andrews for about a good 40, 60, likely as well, 40, 60, max 60. Josh Allen. I know a lot of people making a big issue about they're making a big thing about when they lost earlier this year to them. But again, that was earlier this year. That was week 4. That was week 4, ladies and gentlemen. It's a different Buffalo Bills team. James Cook, definitely putting James Cook for about 60 yards, anytime TD. Buffalo is definitely going to run the ball. If I'm going to go anybody for a touchdown, I could see Shakir. I could see Josh Allen force feeding. You see, that's the thing. If Josh Allen plays the clean football like he's been playing all year, and he's not force feeding it, throwing interceptions, and just out there straight shitting the bed, you know what I mean? If he's not the bed, then we straight. Western New York, you straight. Might be playing in Kansas City for the AFC Championship game. Part of me. But again, that's if he doesn't force feed, and Josh Allen is known for that. As many games as I've seen him play, he's known for that. If I see him throwing any touchdowns, it's gonna be to the kid Shakir. I'm putting him down for anytime TD, wide receiver wise, or the tight end Kincaid. Anybody else, I don't know. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's that Baltimore defense. They're no joke. They're no joke. I don't think it's gonna be a rough time for them, like it was in week 4, but it is going to be a rough time. It's not going to be easy. That's the MVP over there, man. The kid got 41 TDs and 4 interceptions. So 1.5 point game. This is going to be a close one. I see a field goal last possession. 51.5 over under. I'm going to go with the 51.5 under. It's going to be a defensive game. It's going to be a cold night in Buffalo. It's going to be a defensive game. That's why I see Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's definitely going to get you 100 yards. He went for almost 200 last week. I'm seeing that here. 2 TDs. That was one of the biggest pickups in the offseason. And everybody just let him go just like that to Baltimore. And I mean, they're doing things. Anytime touchdown for Derrick Henry. Definitely putting him for about 100 yards. Baltimore, they ran him 25 yards last week. They're going to do that again. They're going to run that. They're going to try to run that defense to the ground. Him and Lamar Jackson, they're going to try to run that defense to the ground. And then they're going to hit him with that play action. And then that's when you're going to get your anytime touchdown from Likely or Andrews or maybe Bateman. Money line wise, I got to do this one more time because I got a lot of friends and I got friends with both teams. But I know this one side is going to hate me because I'm not going to ride with them this time again. And I usually don't because, bro, the dude is known for doing this every year, bro. He throws the wrong pass at the wrong time to the wrong person. It's either a defensive player or like last year with Shakir, it was short. Like it happens all the time, and I'm not putting my money on not. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So I'm riding with Baltimore. I'm putting my money on Baltimore. I might have to come on here and apologize next week to the whole city of Buffalo and Bills Mafia. But I'm not doing it, bro. He does it every year, bro. Every year. The kid had a nice year this year, but I just see it like he's gonna do it. He's just gonna throw that in there and it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Well, this is a wrap here. I want to thank everybody that's watching, everybody that tunes in. Please like, comment, interact. Please subscribe. Appreciate all the subscribers already. Shout out to y'all. Different, man. Helping you guys out with these parlays. Telling you who to stay away from in my eyes. And, smoking this good dope with you guys. I know you guys on the other end. You know what I'm saying? With your L's blazing. Getting them parlays right. That's what it's all about here. Trying to double up. It's your boy Peppy C. Dial in the Dream. Dope Sports TV. Stay safe watching these games. I'm out.